Today I won't be reviewing The Magician's Apprentice outside of the square window. I just don't have the budget. It is really expensive. You would not believe how expensive it is. So, Series 9, Episode 1. What we've got here is the classic first part of a two-parter that is set up. And some do it this well, some don't. But honestly, I don't think two parts are made for a series opener. Like, The Impossible Astronaut managed to do it okay, but they had a good idea with Series 8, which was a feature-length, hour-and-a-half episode with Deep Breath, which was better than this, because, well, it's good, but I felt like there was a lot missing out. Because in the prologue, we see the Doctor giving a healer, which is somebody from the Sisterhood of Khan, the confession dial. Then next thing we know, it's with Missy. Okay, but there are a lot of things I really think they should have explained. For example, how did Davros survive? Like, I know he's dying now, but last time we saw him, he was on the Crucible, which was blowing up, and he was left behind. Like, I know Dalek Khan died and practically everyone else died, but how did he get out? It's not even explained. Did Colony Sarf save him? Did he use a teleport, emergency temporal shift? What? Anyway, to the cast. Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. He's brilliant. He's great as the Doctor now. He's fitted into this role brilliantly. But I feel like he didn't really have much to do in this episode. Like, he acted more like a drunken idiot. Especially in that scene with the party. I really didn't know what to expect. He goes from saving the Doctor when the 11th Doctor died, let's remember, he tried to put it off and explore things like he wouldn't do again. Go see Craig, goodbye tour, etc, etc. The 12th Doctor has a party on a tank in the Middle Ages. To be honest, I thought that would be the other way around, like the 11th Doctor would have the party and the 12th Doctor would have the goodbye tour. But no. But I have to give credit to Peter Capaldi. He'd learned that guitar for real. And he's quite good at it. But he is brilliant as always, and his chemistry with Davros, played by Julian Bleach, is brilliant. And I'm so glad we get to see more of that in the next episode. Like, Julian Bleach, he's just amazing as Davros. And I think he's the only actor that's ever been in Doctor Who, Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. And I'm so glad the BBC kept his contact, because he is brilliant. And if this is the last time we see Davros, at least we got Julian Bleach to play him. Clara, played by Jenna Coleman. I feel like most people are getting bored of Clara, partly because she should have left in Last Christmas. And that forced ending sort of means she's here. I mean, Jenna Coleman plays her well. It's just, she's leaving at the end of this series, but I'm not sure how they're going to stretch it out to make it seem natural. Because everyone saw it, she should have left at the end of Last Christmas. But she didn't. Michelle Gomez as Missy. Awesome. Like, she is. When she's with Jenna Coleman, she just pushes Jenna Coleman aside. She is absolutely brilliant. Like, the only person she didn't really overshadow with her craziness is Peter Capaldi, but then again, he's brilliant as well. Gemma Redgrave returns briefly as Kate, but Unit's appearance is too brief to mention. They just do stuff and it's pointless. Ohila, played by Claire Higgins, and the Shadow Architect, played by Kelly Hunter, they're just there in a classic Pandorica Open style opening where Colony staff goes around asking where the Doctor is. And Colony staff, talking of him, played by Jamie Reed Curl, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's just brilliant. Like, I don't know, I didn't expect that voice to come out of him. Like, if you hear him, he's like the jolly, happy Scottish man. Like Michael, like, go back to Series 6 with House, with Michael Sheen, who is a happy Welshman. Those voices, you do not expect them to come out of either of them. Especially Jamie Reed Curl, because I've seen him as Spider-Man, and they are totally different. And Colony Staff, while we're on the subject, he's a good sub-villain, I think. Is he a sub-villain? Well, he's brilliant, and I wish there'd be more focus on him. And I like it how that little attention to detail when they're like, when Clara and Missy want to go with the Doctor to Skaro, he's like, we're voting, we're a democracy because he's made of a bunch of snakes. And a massive giant one. Talking of the opening, I'm sort of okay with the Shadow Proclamation being there, and didn't know why it was there, but okay, they'd probably know where the Doctor is. Same thing with the Sisterhood of Khan. They are in the prologue. They got the confession doll. They probably knew where he was. But the Maldovarium, how is that still running? Like, Dorium's just their head in a box now. And the place looks pretty run down. But points if you spotted the Ood, the Half, the Blowfish from Torchwood, the Scullion from the Sarah Jane Adventures, the Sycorax, and the Carla from A Town Called Mercy. Points if you spotted that. For the story, I like the bit of the battle and the whole mix of technology with the laser planes and the bows and arrows. And the good opening, like with the Davros, that was a good place to open the titles. But they're still out of sync. Do they even care anymore that the titles are out of sync? Like, they took the time to make it a darker blue, or a different shade of blue in the vortex in the beginning bit before the clock, but they didn't bother to put it in sync when you could have. You were practically doing the same job. Do you even care anymore? Like, that's just annoying me now. And I feel like if they don't really care, I feel like I shouldn't care. But anyway, the bit with Missy and Clara in the square window, what the hell was that? Like, her head just pops out. Like, no reason, just pops out like the 3D gimmick in movies. And the bit where she uses the Doctor channel to do the whole, hey Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind, etc. That's more River Song like she would do it with Hello Sweetie. It was okay, and as I said, Michelle Gomez massively overshadowed Jenna Coleman in that scene because, well, to be honest, when Michelle Gomez is playing Missy, she practically overshadows anybody that isn't Peter Capaldi. But that party scene in the Middle Ages was actually entertaining. Like the whole, I bought this tank for my fish. Yeah, that was one of those jokes that when it's so bad, it's funny. And I did find myself laughing at some of those. But when we got to Skaro, I must talk about Dalek continuity here. The scene with Colony Staff and the Doctor in the Middle Ages was brilliant, and Colony Staff is really good as a villain. And you can tell they're having a lot of fun. And plus, it's good that Peter Capaldi settled into the role of the Doctor. But going back to the Daleks, when they're on Skaro, I understand that Missy's a bit shocked that Skaro survived because she probably doesn't know. But the Doctor, he was there in Asylum of the Daleks with a script that was written by Stephen Moffat. Like, I know it was a trap and the person was a Dalek human, but was the planet fake as well? Or was that real? Because if it was fake, you could have explained it. But anyway, Dalek continuity is absolutely ruined at this point. Like, where are the Paradigm Daleks? Because they've got all the classic Daleks, which look brilliant in HD. But where are the Paradigm Daleks? You could have at least kept the Supreme, because he looks like a Supreme Dalek. But they just disappeared. Seriously. Continuity. It's good to keep it. Anyway. Back to the Davros. The scene in the speech where Missy's dying and Clara's dying. It's good that his speech was put over that, like, they need her to run. And they want her to run. Like, they're describing it, and I like the line where when the Doctor's begging Davros not to kill Clara, he says, I create the Daleks, I do not control them, which is pretty fair because the Daleks most of the time didn't care for Davros. Like, they tried to kill him in Genesis of Daleks, they only brought him back to save the Daleks, and Destiny of the I'm not sure if it was Destiny of the Daleks, but they did bring him back only to save them. And in Series 4, they didn't really care for him, they just plopped him down in a vault. But do they care for him now? Like, it doesn't look like he's being cared for apart from Colony staff. And those Dalek humans make a brief return with a Viking. He was only there to capture Dalek. And it was Northern. Like, I understand the Dalek humans are supposed to be intimidating, but I don't really find a Northern Dalek human that intimidating. Because it's supposed to be shocking, then the Northern accent just breaks me out of it. It's very weird. Anyway, the director, Hetty MacDonald, I do believe she's done a few episodes before, and she is still brilliant. Like the scene where the Doctor's playing the electric guitar on a tank. On a tank, almost said fish tank. That was brilliantly directed. But Bubby Davros, or Young Davros. I'm surprised that's become a thing, like Bubby Davros. That's worrying. Anyway, the child actor he was supposed to be scared, but he didn't really seem scared like he did for the first bit, like with the hand mines. And then they just get forgotten about. Then he just gave up and was like, I'm scared. Like that. But the cliffhanger, I mean, to be honest, the cliffhanger could have been when Missy, Clara and the TARDIS were destroyed. That could have been the cliffhanger, but the Doctor trying to kill Bubby Davros, I don't really see it as much as a cliffhanger, because we have two options. One, the Doctor chickens out, which is the most likely to happen. Two, he kills Davros, then time goes all wrong, and he realises that I've got to let him live no matter what. But the first one is most likely to happen, partly because of the next time trailer, which completely ruined the ending, because, well, Davros is still cliffhanger because Davros is still alive, and two, it just seems to be like one of those, hey, you want to know what it's like to be me? Control the Daleks sort of story. But overall, it was okay. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad. It's just, I wish it could have done more. In Colony Staff, brilliant. And the Doctor and Missy, brilliant. But Unit and Jenna Coleman, they don't really seem to do much in this episode. Well, overall, I'd give this episode a 7 out of 10. Like, it was good, but it's not really brilliant. And Dalek continuity is just rubbish, to be honest. I'm expecting the next time they appear, the Paradigm's Daleks are back, and Davros didn't die because they were completely forgotten about that. But remember, this is a two-part, so I'll be combining this episode's scores and the Witch's Familiar scores to bring you the final score. So, join me next time for The Witch's Familiar. See you next time.